Diana sticking with him. This is not going to be easy. Sobar's a neck in front. Diana under the whip staying with him. Sobar just the leader, then Longfella. Diana drew level with Sobar. Diana's doing better. It's a boil over. Diana got to the lead and won it ahead to Sobar.
Some horses are remembered better in defeat than victory. When narrowly beaten by Diana in the '72 Victoria Derby, Sobar became one of those horses.
And anyway, as you come back in, as I was walking up the race, I thought to myself, my own words, and this is going from my mind, well, I'm not going to let the people get in that way. I'm just going to come back and say I rode a bad race. And I took the full blame, and it's the worst thing I ever said in my life, because I got hounded by press and punters, and I'm still getting it. I'm still getting it, but I probably fell in love with the horse so much that I took the blame for him. You know what I mean? And it was just an error for me. I should have come in and told the truth. I should have said the horse had an injury and probably would have been accepted. But that's what you do when you fall in love.
The love affair began several months prior to the Derby.
We went to Caulfield and we duly won the race by 3 from memory now. Could have even been, the margin might have been even further. I know he ran a smart time, and it was a great, really good win, you know. And straight away I knew that we had a horse above average. And Ken Hilton asked me what I thought of his, could he make up to a Guineas horse? And I said, yeah, no worries. So he immediately spelled him, and with that in mind, and concentrated on bringing him back for later.
Trainer Ken Hilton had believed in Sobar's potential before the colt had raced. As an early 3-year-old, his opinion was justified. Having only his 5th start in a race, Sobar was to be tested against seasoned weight-for-age performers.
From memory now, he was tucked away, and he should have won the race. He was tucked away in a hopeless pocket, and I never got out on him until too late. And he ran 3rd, I would say. He's got beaten 2 short half heads, but everyone, of course, knew he was an absolute certainty beaten.
Sobar trying to get out. Hampton's Pride is snookered also, and then Gay Icarus and Red Hope. It's Gossiper getting to Royal Show about 50 metres out. They're going stride for stride. Royal Show's fighting back. Oh, maybe Gossiper beat Royal Show, but there's only a nostril in it. Sobar probably 3rd in front of
the cat was well and truly out of the bag.
Well, the Underwood Stakes is a good guy to the Caulfield Cup, and associated with that is also good horses. So, and to him to start a hot favourite in the race, but he really treated the horses without respect. He just beat him that way too. He was too good for him.
Tordo led on the turn with Sobar moving up to tackle him as they swing around the turn into the straight. They've both hung 2 lengths away, Gossiper and Royal Show, but Sobar took the lead, the 3-year-old. At the 150s, tackled by Royal Show, Gossiper. Then Double Irish and Gay Icarus running on fairly, but Sobar in front. He's 1.5 lengths in front of Royal Show with 100 metres to go. He's got it well won, Sobar. He's a mile too good. Kazenlik's going to fly home and run 2nd.
With an easy weight-for-age win to his credit, Sobar headed for the Caulfield Guineas.
But the boom horse at that time was Century, Bart Cummings' horse, and Bart thought he was unbeatable, and Roy Higgins did also. But I also knew that I knew how good Sobar was, and I went to the races very confident. And I must admit, I think I was 2nd favourite in the race, but I was racing alongside Century going over the hill at the 1,000, and as we got down to the 800, I was just, Sobar just said, well, I've just got sick of this game, and I just let him stride, and he just went to the front 800 from home. He just careered away and beat Century by six lengths. That's how good he was.
At the 600, Sobar White's gone. He's put Century in a pocket, and Sobar's sprinting to the lead with 600 to go. He's gone up the join acidity, 2 lengths now to Arabian Breeze and Century, hard ridden. 2 further back, the Fixer Cardinal, and a gap further back, Grey Abbey. On the turn, 450 out, and Sobar coasted to acidity. They're 2.5 lengths to Century, who's in trouble. Sobar took the lead when they straightened. Century's gone, might be lucky to run a drum. And Sobar at the 200 drew away from acidity. 4 lengths away, Century, followed by the Fixer, Gold Brick and Grey Abbey. But this will challenge for the favouritism in the Caulfield Cup. Sobar, Century's running on well again now, but Sobar will win by 4 lengths to Century. 1.5 lengths third acidity.
Owner Keith Southwick remembers Sobar's great win, down to the 2nd.
He ran the distance in 1:36.2, which equalled Vane's record, and that stayed until very recently.
The pinnacle of Sobar's short but brilliant career was just a week away.
He was an anxious racehorse. He wanted to get out there and just beat them, you know, as quick as he could. Just probably like a Jeff Fennick. He wanted to get down and knock out in the first round. I got over the hill about the 1,000 there in the Caulfield Cup, and there were stormy seas in it, guns then. It was a really good year that year. And down to the 800 gain, he was just wanting to get on with the race, and I just had to let him stride. And I can still remember Bill Collins saying, and here goes White, he's taken off on Sobar, and he just dashed around the field and straightened up with a lead of 3 or 4 lengths, and nothing made any ground on him. We just run him in. They were tired chasing him. Good horses too, and they just were tired chasing him. He was an absolute freak horse.
At the 700, it's Sobar by 2 lengths to Lord Nelson. Third, Stormy Seas, dropping out Scotch and Dry. They're followed by Hampton's Pride. Guns in, coming around them hard. Gay Icarus in trouble, and Grand Scale. But with 500 to go, Sobar looked to be coasting. 2 lengths now to Sheriff. They're followed by Grand Scale, Guns in, Hampton's Pride, Stormy Seas. Into the straight, the 3-year-olds 3 lengths in front, Sobar. From Sheriff, Stormy Seas the challenger now. Sheriff's gone from Guns in, then Grand Scale at the 200. Sobar 1.5 lengths clear. Stormy Seas and Guns in trying, but the 3-year-old's too good. He mightn't be a Tulloch, but he's not far short of it. And Sobar's won by 2 lengths.
Sobar then looked unbeatable in the Derby. However, there are conflicting stories regarding his fitness leading up to the race. Owner Keith Southwick and Brian Ralph, foreman for the late Ken Hilton, are adamant that the horse was free of any injury.
Now, it's my belief that really the horse should never run in the Derby. He wasn't himself. And anyway, I went out to riding track work there on the Tuesday prior to the Derby, and I was told, actually, I was told just to watch turning him quickly or anything, that it might just hurt his joint. And that's all I was told.
Well, the horse had been in perfect order, I might say, before the Derby run.
Derby day, when I sat on got on his back and the atmosphere and everything, I just knew the horse was uptight and he just wasn't himself.
He was ridden in extraordinary fashion by White. He had him out very, very wide from the turn out of the straight. And he kept him that way, with the horse pulling against him he was up near the lead, but out very wide.
Ken Hilton stressed on me that day, I was tied down to instructions not to lead, and that I couldn't win him like riding him in the same way that I won the Caulfield Cup, that I had to hold him up for a late run. So this was in my mind, and I've got a wide barrier, short run of the turn, so I did the best I could, went out of the straight, and I was running third, but never ever quite got in. I just missed getting in behind the 2 leaders because of the slow pace. Anyway, Sobar started to hang out all the way up along the Merbalong side of the track here.
Horse then went to the front, and I think if he'd left him alone, Diana had a charm run, and then was under hard riding by Higgins with the whip. If he'd let him go, he would still have won. But then he did the thing which this horse, from the very beginning, wouldn't tolerate. He went for the whip. And of course, the horse was trying to savage the whip from him.
He was still such a great horse that it took a champion stayer in Diana to really, and he only just run him down the last half a furlong or so in the race.
Sobar a little restless, settles down now. Ready, racing this time. Arabian Breeze and Carnation for me with the first out, with the fixer going fast. Salvo, Longfellow and Gala Red there. Sobar on the outside, and they're followed by Aberfoyle on the fence. Diana pushing through, and Euripides and Monvan were last with Better Sands in front of them. Out of the straight, Arabian Breeze led. Sobar caught 4 or 5 wide. At the 1,600 metres, and the leader, Arabian Breeze, one of the fixers. Sobar's fighting hard with White. He's got out 4 or 5 wide at this stage. He'd be about 4th. Carnation for me. Gala Red inside him, and plenty of room between Sobar and those horses. On the turn, 600 out, and Arabian Breeze joined by the fixer who's under pressure. A length Carnation for me, and Sobar, who's never been on the track. The fixer took a narrow lead as they straightened now. From Arabian Breeze, Sobar pulled out to take the run now. From Carnation for me and Diana, and Longfellow trying to get through, but Sobar coasted to the lead at the 200 with Diana going with him from the fixer, Longfellow. Then Carnation for me. Sobar's hard-ridden. Diana sticking with him. This is not going to be easy. Sobar's a neck in front. Diana under the whip staying with him. Sobar just the leader, then Longfellow. Diana drew level with Sobar. Diana's doing better. It's a boil over. Diana got to the lead and won it ahead to Sobar.
After the race, of course, I asked White, what was he doing? He said, he apologised to me and said he rode a bad race.
Following the Derby, Sobar was rested. While being prepared by Hilton for an autumn campaign, he suffered a tendon injury.
Archie McClements had rung me a number of times, and he has a reputation, or had a reputation then and still has, for treating horses with tendon problems. Anyway, I decided, with Hilton's consent, to give the horse to McClements in the short term. It was intended to bring it back to Hilton, to see what he could do with it, and he worked on it. And of course, subsequently, Hilton had a second heart attack, and I decided to leave it with McClements. Of course, it wasn't long after that that Hilton passed away too, which is very sad. McClements, I say, worked on the horse and corrected the tendon problem.
Indeed he did. Sobar contested 3 weight-for-age races in the spring of '73. But he wasn't the Sobar of old. His new trainer, Arch McClements, rested Sobar until the autumn, when he called on the services of an old mate, Mick Malyon.
I went into this race at Flemington in a pretty hot field, and I had a good feeling that he might get the money.
Sobar holding Asgard at bay at the 250. 3 lengths to Longfellow, all shot running on well now, but again the post is going to be too close today. Sobar in front holding Asgard, and then all shot running on, but not as well as usual, and Sobar's going to win. 1.5 lengths to Asgard, 2 lengths to all shot third.
The champ was back, and doing it in style.
He really won to me like as what I'd seen him and do as a 3-year-old when Harry White used to ride him. He absolutely annihilated them.
Sobar, given his head, went away 2 lengths to Anali at the 200, 5 lengths on Sedon, and they're followed then by Gala Supreme. But Sobar, he hasn't moved on him. He's well clear, and the old champ's proved he's right back to his best. He's going to win by 2.5 lengths to Anali. 4 lengths away third, Gala Supreme. He's hard-held Sobar at the line.
Feeling was that Sobar was back to his best. But not even his big heart could overcome the difficulties he and Mick Malyon experienced in the Australian Cup.
And mate, when they got to that corner there, 3 furlongs out of Flemington, I thought I was in the ring with bloody Joe Louis, because he got that many buffeting and punches there that he was lucky to even finish the race.
Sobar was later tried with another trainer, but continuing leg problems forced his retirement from racing. Free of injury, Sobar was an outstanding racehorse. No horse of the time could match him at his best. Legendary racecaller Bill Collins certainly had a high opinion of the champ who wouldn't lay down.
But the 3-year-old's too good. He mightn't be a tullock, but he's not far short of it. And Sobar's won by 2 lengths.